Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2022. 2022. We're back in Australia, the No Man's Land Australia version. Well, there it is. That's where we're at. I was plowing, so there's the big rig, and we're going to jump on that and get back started on the plowing. Matthew, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. We're going to jump on this big monster and get to work. AV all good. Thanks, Scorp. Appreciate it. Tim's in the house. Hey, ya, Tim. How you doing? I should adjust it. Looks like... Let me jump out of here for a minute. Christina Thomas is in the house. Hello, it's Christina. Looks like my chat is kind of low right here. Let me see if I can adjust that chat window. Where's the chat window? Chat box. There it is right there. Let's click on that. And it is a little low, but it looks like it's right where it's supposed to be. So let me just raise it up just a tiny little bit. All right, and then get back at it. All right. Hey, we're back. I wasn't really gone. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to finish this up and see if we can... I'm trying to figure out what to do with the size and shape of the field. The borders. I'm a little concerned. But we'll work it out. Oh. Hang on. I lost my chat. I went to read the chat and it isn't there. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. What I mean by that is there is chat on the stream, but I can't see what you see. So the screen that you see, I don't see. Like the screen I'm looking at, my face isn't in there. My chat isn't popping up on the window. And also, if you guys do a meme, like you throw up a round of beer, I don't see any of that. So I have to look at a different computer to see that. And I had turned it off, so I couldn't see the chat. So where am I? Christina said hi. I got that. Can you plant some sorghum? I can. We'll see what I want to do. How's your daughter Addie doing today? She's doing good. She was feeling a little bad last night. She had thrown up in the bathroom. She wasn't feeling very good. But she's better this morning, so. All right, there we go. We got 0 degrees. That's what I need. Let's jump back in there and turn the GPS on. And reset that. Create the track first. Okay, so it doesn't think I'm on the plow, I guess. Let's tell it that we are. All right. Flip it around, turn it on. All right, Bob's your uncle. We went through that yesterday, didn't we? What's this map called again? It's in the description, I'm pretty sure. It's Aussie No Man's Land. All right, here we go. Christina, want to know how my day was? It's going good so far. I just got to get started here. I wasn't quite prepared for this. Well, I kind of was. I prepared for this about a half hour ago and then walked away. And so I didn't realize what time it was and come running in and kicked everything on, and everything seems to be working, so I guess we're okay. I have to plow around this big rock. Australia grows lots of cotton. Croton. Did I say croton? Australia grows a lot of croton. As a matter of fact, they grow all the croton. Nobody else in the world grows croton. So.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, Andy. Andy's in the house. How you doing today, Andy? Hope you're feeling well. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and set this thing on making a field, so I can clean up these bushes here. And there's a stump. Let me slow down over the stump. Tim bought a new tractor. Tim, that's a tractor a day. Where are you getting all the money? Tim's a working fool. He's got quite a bit of money, I guess. Anthony's in the house. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Clean that up. Yeah, my idea of leaving a border isn't working very good. The problem is I can easily make a mistake and run over. Tim's beating up on a tree, or is the tree beating up on Tim? I'm not sure. So I don't know if that border thing's going to work for me.
All right.
All right. Cheers, Andy. Andy's been hitting the mead pretty hard lately, hasn't he? You painted in dusty gravel right on the edge, and then grass paint, and then a road. That was one of the things that I was a little bit upset about. Is the land doesn't go north, south, east, west, and so when you try to put in a road, you're doing it at a diagonal. I know that doesn't make any sense. I can show you in a second, though. Oh, shoot. Look what I just did. I went out of bounds. That's what I was worried about. You have a need for speed making mead. Jeremy, hello. How you doing? Good to see you. Has everybody got a cold drink, or maybe a hot donut? I had a maple bar yesterday. Carol bought a bunch of maple bars. We don't have bakeries anymore. We had about 4 local bakeries. You could always get fresh donuts and bread and rolls and all kinds of cakes and pies, and they slowly over the years it just went out of business. Most of them got old, retired, and just closed business down. Evidently, there wasn't anybody willing to buy the bakery, so they just retired and locked the doors up. And so one went, then another, and then the third, and then finally a couple years ago, the 4th one went out. Just nobody. It's hard life. Baking is not easy because if you think about this, you get out of your house, you have a cup of coffee or whatever, you drive to the local bakery on your way to work because you're going to get a dozen donuts to take into the office, right? And you stop at the local bakery. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. The bakery's just opening up. And you walk in and buy your donuts. They're freshly baked. Well, how did those donuts and cakes and cookies and pies and stuff, how are they all ready to be sold at 8 o'clock when the bakery opens? Somebody got up at about 3 o'clock in the morning and baked all that crap. So it's being a baker is not your hours are weird. You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go in and work your ass off, and by afternoon you're at home sleeping. So your days are all kind of weird. The hours are different for a baker than any other 9 to 5 person. And it's hard work. It's hot. And but there you go. I mentioned that one time to somebody. I said, "Yeah, I don't want to be a baker. I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock every morning." Well, why do you have to get up at 3 o'clock any morning? Well, I just told you. You gotta have the baking done. So it's you gotta love it, I guess. Matthew says he's drinking Code Red. My son drinks that stuff. Oh, what happened? Did I pick up I must have picked it up. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here today. The sun's shining. There's few clouds out there, but they're not rain clouds. They're fluffy white clouds, which is not usual for here. Normally, if we have clouds, they're dark and full of water. Living on the coast, sucks it up off the ocean. Anyway, it's bright and sunny out today, but it's not warm. It's not even 50, I don't think. Alexa, what's the temperature today?
Right now, it's 51 degrees.
51.
Tonight, expect a low 41 degrees.
41 tonight. So, yeah, 51. 51's not bad, but it's not warm. The thing is, it's sun's shining. You go outside, and if the sun's beating on you, you can feel the warmth of the sun, right? But 51 is not that warm. In the thinking that you're going to go outside and spend some time. If you go outside in 51 degree weather, it feels nice, sun's shining, it's a beautiful day. You might just have a shirt on like I've got, just a long sleeve shirt or, something like that. And you're perfectly fine, but you go out there and stay and sit out there for an hour or so, 51 starts bringing the body temperature down. Your body temperature is 98.6. 51 is going to draw that down pretty quickly. So, no, it's not freezing cold. but it's not exactly warm either. It's all relative. I wonder. Huh. All right. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. Do that. Do that. Change cruise control. Toggle cruise. Select camera. Fold. There it is. Up at the top. Left shift. Okay. Left shift. Comma. No, the other way. Let's try that. That's gonna give me more dirt. See the dirt blowing in the back, the dust in the wind. You can adjust. I have a mod on, so you can adjust that. And the mod's kind of cool too because I've added things to it. I've added that if it's like I'm plowing grass, then the dirt is greenish. It's not because I'm plowing dirt. But if I was cutting grass, the dust would be greenish. If you're doing lime, the dust would be white like lime. Who sang that song, Dust in the Wind? Was that? Who sang that? Journey? Was it Journey? No, it wasn't Journey. Kansas? There's a group called Kansas I listened to when I was young. Well, I've never been young, but 55, Andy says. And 9 o'clock in the evening. Well, you had a pretty good day then. What's sunset, about 8 o'clock now? Scorp says it was Kansas. Okay, so I did get partially right. Yeah, Kansas was a good group. I like their style. I think it's funny and more than a little coincidental that Andy lives in Devon, England. And quite surprisingly, the weather there is similar to the weather that we have, almost in real time. Obviously we're 8 hours off or so on the time. But when I'll say we've got 50-degree weather, and Andy will say they've got 50-degree weather, or they had 50-degree weather for that day. And I'll say it's raining, and Andy says it's raining. And we must be on a longitude similar with that part of the country in Great Britain. And also, is Devon close to water? Because I'm right on the ocean, so we're at sea level here, and we get a lot of weather from the ocean. The ocean's just a couple miles away from me, so it's kind of strange. Kansas sing "Dust in the Wind." Yeah, that was the song I was attempting to mimic when I was talking about dust in the wind here from my plow. Dope Diva says it's raining here in the northeast of England. Dope, how are you? Or do you go by Dope or Diva? I think I'd rather go by Diva if I had your name. And 88, Dope Diva 88. I have a email address that's similar in one respect. It's a word. Starts with no. 2K88 is one of my email addresses I made in 2000. That's what the 2K was for. Remember when everybody was talking about we were all going to have some kind of tragedy or some kind of thing in the year 2000? The clocks were all going to go haywire and everybody's going to starve to death and the power's going to go out and we wouldn't have a power grid, we wouldn't have food, and everybody was buying that food that lasts 50 years. You could store it for 25 years or something like that. At that time, my father-in-law bought all of us, his kids, $1,500 worth of survival food to throw in the garage because he was scared to death that all hell was going to break loose in the year 2000. And then, of course, nothing happened. And the food was pretty bad. But anyway, I guess maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you really needed it. I mean, if you were starving to death, that's probably pretty good, but it wasn't, You prefer diva? Well, then you really are a diva. Okay. You're a diva. Well, anyway, it was fun with Y2K. Yeah. So I decided, we're just going to have a fantasy. It's going to be a fantasy. Be prepared. Prepare yourself for the worst, but hope for the best. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I made an email address about fantasy 2K88. Why 88? I don't remember. But the 2K was for that time of the millennia or whatever. So anyway, your 88 diva reminded me of that. It's the little things. Am I going to lime? I should have limed first, Matthew. I really should have, but it's not a big deal. In that my planter that I use is a cultivator, and it will cultivate the lime in, so I don't have to lime before I plow. I wanted to plow first because it's a brand new field. It's just open land. I had to cut the trees off and the bushes, and I wanted to get it plowed into a field before I did any kind of liming or seeding or anything like that. Not that it makes any difference, just a game, but well, yeah, so getting back to diva, yeah, I can understand how you'd prefer being a diva than a dope, but you can lime in a very bouncy tractor on the plowed fields. That's true. That's true. How are we doing in this? Is it bouncing much? A little bit. Getting dirty in there. It's getting dirty. DD. Double D. Scorpion, be careful. I can call you Double D. I don't know. Don't know about that. Oh, looky what Carol brought me. A Baja Blast. Thank you. All right. So I guess we know what soup du jour is today, don't we? That means somebody went for lunch at Taco Bell. It wasn't me. I had a leftover bit of a sandwich I had from last night. we have this thing when I'm working, or even when I'm not working, when I'm just playing games and stuff. I don't like a lot of light, so I always play in a dark room with headphones, and that's why I don't play a lot of scary games, because they scare the hell out of me and I'm screaming half the time. But yeah, I kind of prefer a dark room. So I've got, I do have a window behind me. Well, kind of to the right. My right is your left. The camera's always off. Anyway, I have those blackout curtains and stuff. And so to keep me from having a heart attack, because I have sound dampening headphones, I can't hear anything. When somebody has to come in and say something to me or get my attention, they flick the lights on and off, because that way I don't have a heart attack when somebody comes in and taps me on the shoulder and I can't see them. It scares the hell out of me. I could sit there and have a heart attack. So anyway, the light just got flicked on, and I looked up and saw the Baja Blast coming towards me. I couldn't see Carol, just the glass coming towards me. It was just kind of floating in the air. And the reason I couldn't see Carol is it's dark, and that light that's shining in my face is so bright that I can't see beyond it. So anybody could come in here and sneak up on me and give me a heart attack anytime they wanted to. Yeah, Taco Bell has Baja Blast. Well, it depends on what she eats there. I think she usually gets the pizza, some kind of pizza. Taco pizza or some kind of pizza. I don't know. Okay, let's run around and see if I missed anything. I know I missed the stumps. I'm going to have to come in and do the stumps. Check on that other side of that rock, see if I missed anything over there. Know what I mean, Vern? All right, there's a spot. Pick that up real quick. Clean up on aisle 7. Yeah, Mexican pizza, I guess that's what they call it. I was trying to think of some other word, but that's it, I think. I love this plow. You know what I like the best about this plow? Stop, plow. What are you doing? Plow, stop it. Okay, I have to do it over. I keep screwing it up. Okay, let me get down in here. Okay, now listen carefully. This is what I like most about this plow, is the clanking noise. The noises that it makes are exactly the same noises you'd think you'd hear in real life. I love it. I love it. All right, now where's my other field? That way. This away. I'm going to head that away. Okay, I got work to do, don't I? I got to cut all these trees down, but not quite. Where's my house? I can't see my house. Somebody stole my house. All right, here we go. Okay, so this field I'm going to take right around the road. It's just going to be a big open field, so it's not ready yet. I gotta get these trees off. There's a lot more trees. Well, there's not a lot of trees. Remember that first No Man's Land that we did? It wasn't No Man's Land. What was the one that I did was like the island? It was Alien Jim. There was a map that I did was like an island. I think it was even named some kind of island. And it was like a No Man's Land style. The only difference is there were so friggin' many trees. Oh man, I cut every one of them down. And people were complaining. And after I did all that work, Alien Jim came in and took out more than half the trees because people were complaining there were too many trees to cut down. And yeah, of course, after I cut them all down, I cut every one. It took me forever. And then he comes in and takes half of them out. It was funny too because I think he came in. He used to come into my live streams. I haven't seen him for a couple of years. But he came in and told me, "Oh yeah, I did. Sorry." Right. Well, these little ones ought to come out the easy way, I guess. I'll cheat those out. Testicle Island. It was like that, but it wasn't that. Come on, guys. Testicle Island. It was something like that. It wasn't Paradise Island. I can't remember, but it was. It sounded like that. I think I called it that a few times. Spectacle Island. Maybe that was it. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think it was Spectacle Island. I don't know why Spectacle Island. I think of spectacle, I think of glasses. But as usual, it's an English word, and it has about 20 different meanings. Because things can be a spectacle, they can be, spectacular, special, specular. Or they can be a set of glasses. Let me put my specs on. Put my now I'm getting confused. Spectacles on. Let me get my spectacles. Where's my spectacles? They're over there by your cane, you old fart. Put your spectacles on, you'll see them. Just like the word right. How many versions? They sound exactly the right. They're spelled. Some of them are spelled the same. Right isn't. It's you've got you can write to the right. I'm right. I'm correct. English is probably a pretty strange language to learn, I would think. So you got words that sound the same, but are spelled different, and then they have 3 different meanings. How the hell does that work? And we're lucky now too, because back in the 15, 16, 1700s, the average number of words that that people used was like in the thousands, and then now the average number of words that people use are a couple hundred, and they keep abbreviating them. They make them into hieroglyphics now. We're going backwards in time in education and stuff. Now with texting, nobody texts anymore, or nobody writes anymore. They text everything, and then they make like a heart, I heart you, with an eyeball, a heart, and a U. Nobody knows how to spell anymore because they don't. It's getting awful. Going back into the caveman days. I heart you. Come on, Stump. I'm trying to do this as I take them out so that I don't have to go back and do them later. But bad angle, I guess. Got that one. Get a different angle on it. Maybe I can get it. Okay, there we go. Just don't lay on the floor and extend periods of time, Andy. What's Andy doing? Feeding the cat. Be right back. Feed the cat so it don't eat you. Yeah. Yeah, don't fall asleep in front of a cat. They'll eat your face off. He's a crazy cat. Big Daddy. Big Daddy says, hey. Hey, 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 Big Daddy. Farming Sins is in the house, says, what's up, homies? That's another thing that I've heard English people, and not just English people, the Dutch do it too. Like the Dutch will do, when they buy a comfortable home and move into it, they say it's homely. Well, homely in the United States mean you're ugly. Oh my God, that guy's homely. Over there, and what we say is if your house is comfortable, we call it homey. Homey. But English call it homely. We live in a homely house. And we think, oh my God, they've got an ugly house. And they'll say, instead of an idea, I came up with a good idea today. The Dutch say ID. I need some new IDs. I came up with a good ID today. Weird. I would think we were both speaking English, but maybe not. Dennis. Big Daddy. Says he's gone now. Dennis, how you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Come on, Stump. Come up, come up. Nah. Those stumps look like a piece of pizza pie and somebody buried in the yard. There we go. I'm cutting the work down a little bit, but it takes forever. There it goes. See, the only thing about the Baja Blast, that with soda drinks, the only thing with that, I have to drink it quickly or it's going to get hot because I don't like ice in my soda. So Carol always gets me a soda without ice in it. And for two reasons. One, if I can't drink it all, I can put it in the fridge and it's still good when I pull it back out. Because normally, in my opinion, when you have a soda drink like that from McDonald's or Burger King or any of those places, I think they water them down because they always taste like they're watered down. Especially McDonald's. Their Cokes are it's like Coke flavored water. It doesn't taste like an actual Coca-Cola. And then if you put ice in it and the ice starts to melt, it does water it down. Plus, if you get yourself a large drink, it's all ice. They fill the whole cup up with ice and then squirt the soda in. So you don't get very much soda. I want my money's worth, especially what they charge nowadays. So I don't put any ice in it. Then I can slowly drink it and not have to worry about being watered down. People are weird, aren't they? Does that make me weird? I'll have to ask Diva if that would make me weird, doing stuff like that. What? Dennis's birthday? Oh, happy birthday, Dennis. I hope you have a wonderful day and get everything you deserve. That's what birthdays are for. I never buy practical gifts on birthdays. Birthdays, Christmas, the same thing. I don't buy practical gifts on those kinds of days. Birthdays and Christmas, a person should get something that they really want and they either can't buy for themselves because they don't have the money, or for whatever reason, they just can't buy it for themselves, but it's something they really want. Now, there's different reasons for not being able to buy what you want. It could be that you don't have the money. It could be that you do have the money, but the money's already obligated to pay the rent or to buy that tire that you need fixed. So you've got the money, but you can't spend it on things that you want. You have to spend it on things that you need because you're on a fixed income, or for whatever reason, you have to be practical. You've got a family, they need to eat and have clothing, and so you can't be spending your money on things that are frivolous. And so that's what I like to buy for somebody for a birthday or Christmas. Something that they really want that they either can't get or have, they're being a responsible family man or woman and family person, and they can't spend the money that way. So they don't get what they want. That, to me, that's a gift. And so, and I say that because I've told the story before. I worked with a guy that he was so cheap, he wouldn't spend money on things like that. And so, if, for example, and I'm using this as an example because he actually did this. They needed a power strip for something. They did something. They moved some furniture, and they had a lamp that now didn't have a plug-in close by. So he needed a power strip. And so he bought one for his wife's anniversary and gave it to her because that's what he did. He would not buy a frivolous gift, what he considered to be frivolous gift. It'd have to be something they need. So if they needed something, he'd buy it, wrap it up, and give it as a gift because he was cheap. I don't know how he ever stayed married for as long as he did. But anyway, that's my idea of a gift. So anyway, I hope you get what you want, Dennis. Get something that you want. I always do because I always buy my own Christmas or birthday presents. Mainly because most of my family can't afford anything I'd want. I always want expensive stuff. What do you want for your birthday, Dad? $5,000 computer. New computer. All right, how we doing? Did I get it done? Let's throw some flight on here. Jump up in the air and take a look at this field. Now I got all those little trees to get away. Oh wait, I missed some over there. All right, I'm not done. I got the money, honey. You got the time. They say it's your birthday. Bom, 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 bom. That's the only Beatles song I ever liked. That song right there. And I don't even know if Beatles, if it was their song. But that's the only Beatles song I ever liked. I say it's your birthday. Dun, 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 dun. Had a nice beat to it. Mm-hmm. Buy what you want, what you really, really want. Boy, Scorpion's into some music today. It's the power of love. Huey Lewis. Believe it or not, Huey Lewis is older than I am. I think. Maybe not, but I think he is. And if he isn't, he looks older than me. Carol's. Poor Carol. We're on holiday. I told you the story, because I don't look my age. I told you the story that somebody came to do work on the house, and Carol had made the arrangements, and he came to the door, and I answered it, and he said, "Oh, I was looking for your mom. She wanted me to do some work in the backyard." And I didn't say a word. I just smiled and said, "She's at the grocery store right at the moment, but if you go out in the backyard, you'll see the lumber set out and stuff." And I'm assuming she told you what she wanted, and she'll be here in a minute. And I closed the door. Carol wasn't too happy when I told her that the worker thought that she was my mom. So we're on holiday just 2 weeks ago, or last week, and for some reason, I was out on the deck, and I come running into the condo because I found what was it? A chuck wagon? No, a chuck wagon. A woodchuck. I found a woodchuck. I was excited. I come running in, and she looked at me. She said, "Damn." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "People are right. You do look like my son." Because, Carol looks her age. There's nothing wrong with that. And she is a couple years older than me, but it's funny. All right. What do we do now? We got to come in here and turn this thing on right here. And let's move in. Take these things out one at a time. And then we're going to plow this field. Remind me, I need to buy a lime spreader and another tractor. Whoa, slow down. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you do want someone to talk to? I've been waiting all day long just to talk with you. Was that Eric Clapton? Can't remember. Eric Clapton and George Harrison from talking about the Beatles. Eric Clapton and George Harrison were best of friends. And they were both guitar players. George Harrison was the guitar player for the Beatles. The one with the most talent for sure. And Eric Clapton and he were best buddies. As a matter of fact, they shared a woman. George Harrison's wife and he and his wife and Eric Clapton, they ran around together. They were, good buddies. And when George Harrison's wife and he started having problems, marital problems, Eric Clapton stepped right in. And then the next thing you know, Eric Clapton is with George Harrison's wife, and it was kind of weird. But and George Harrison didn't care. I guess he'd had enough of her, and Eric Clapton was his best friend. So whatever works. I always thought that was kind of weird. Am I still on my field? Yeah, I am. Okay. I always thought that was a little strange, but hey, love makes the world go round, I guess. All right, what's going on in chat here? How you doing? Meeting my mom. Don't forget, you need to buy a fertilizer spreader and a tractor. Yeah, you should buy another tractor and lime spreader. Well, yeah, okay. Commute time. Scorpion, are you at the office today? Your commute time is a little early. He's probably already gone. This is too easy. The only problem with this is I don't get any. Those trees are going to disappear on me. I don't get any sawdust or wood chips, doing it this way. Hey, I left the rig running. Yeah, I hate when those things. You cut those trees down and then they disappear on you and then they appear again like ghosts. They're ghost trees. CFL, how you doing? I'm on 32X map on FS22 on a PC. Oh, guess I wasn't done. That one's not disappearing. Are these also? I guess I wasn't done. I think it was Eric Clapton that sang that song, Lay Down Sally. I've been waiting all night long just to talk with you. I'll tell you the song that I didn't realize that Eric Clapton sang. Don't know why. I wasn't necessarily a big Eric Clapton fan, and I enjoyed some of his music. And if I was a fan of somebody, I bought their albums. So I can say I like his music, but I evidently wasn't a fan because I never bought any of his music. But he sang a song that I didn't know was his. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. I didn't know that was Eric Clapton that did that song. I remember hearing that song on the radio all the time. Didn't even realize it was Eric Clapton. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. All right, let's jump in the air. Take a look. How'd we do? I think we're okay. Is that just a tree or a bush? Is that a bush or a tree? That might be a tree. It is. I missed one. All right, moving along. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's dump the wood chips. How many chips can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I just got girlfriend. She has Down syndrome. Her name is Taylor, and she lives same hometown as me. She has some disability, same disability as me. Hey, Steve. Steve the farmer's in the house. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Long time no see. See, I never know if that's true because there's a lot of people that aren't able to come into the live streams. So they may be on every live stream and they don't say anything, then I don't know. So Steve's been around a long time, so I'm sure he's probably watched some of the live streams and hasn't been able to watch them live. All right, I'm going to just store these for now. I'm keeping these for income. The wood chips I'm keeping for income. We'll just store them up for now instead of selling them right now. Steve, what's happening? Doing good. I'm doing really good. Just got off holiday last week. Yeah, no doubt. Not only different time zones, different seasons. You guys going into winter? Okay, so I've got to mow this now. So all right, let's get this thing lined up. Man, that thing's dirty, isn't it? Driving around. All righty, what are we doing? 89 degrees. 89, we need 90. So let me see if I can pop 90 in. There we go. 90 degrees. And then we need to go into setup and hit mowing. Hit the mowing. And flip it around. And set it. and turn it on. Okay, I'm going to go down to the road. All right, I'm just going to follow the path of the road as best I can. Take a quick look at the chat. I can't do this and look at the chat because I'll run off the road. 6-hour drive. Drive out west to Charlesville. Oh, you're playing this map? Cool. It's a big one, isn't it? It's a big one. So does the country look like this in real life, Steve? I keep forgetting this tractor's blue because with these glasses it looks green. Okay. Alrighty then. Do I go this way or should I go that way? I might go this way because it's longer than it is deep. And so less turning around if I go the long way. But what should I do? What should I do? I've already got it set up this way. That doesn't matter. I can just flip it. Flip it. Flip it. All right, but we want to do 0 degrees. That would be direct north. Uh-oh, went too far. There we go, 0 degrees. All right, and then let's flip it that way and reset it and turn it on. And off we go like a herd of turtles. You see out west, mate, they have some huge fields. I bet they do. Nenny Bear, hi, how are you? We'll just say Bear. How you doing, Bear? Go the long way? All right, I'll go the long way. I forgot I had a Baja Blast. And it's, look, it's soup du jour, but I've already got a soup du jour. I can go through it, though. We're going to do this. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that. Although it does taste sparkly. And it still makes me like this. Give me some energy. Uh-oh. Take down cat. Andy's doing it the rude man way. I'm going to hit back into GPS. And we're off like a herd of turtles. Should I be having the beacon running? I'm not out on the road. A lot of these people that run their beacons, I used to watch a guy that did farm sim, and he always insisted that you had to have a beacon running. And I kept saying, why would you have to have a beacon running on your own field? Who isn't going to be able to see you on a field? I mean, to me, the beacon's only if you're going to be out on the road or something. You know what I mean? But he'd get all upset if he didn't have his beacons running. Oh, my God, I'm going to get a ticket. What? What the hell are you talking about? You crazy, man. How's the weather? It's actually today we've got some sunshine. There were a little bit of white clouds, fluffy white clouds. We never see those. Always rain clouds. But yeah, we had a pretty decent day. It's only 51 degrees, so it's not necessarily warm. But it's a sunny day. It's beautiful out there. It's all beautiful. It's oh so beautiful. Here's another song for you. $100 mils of rain, huh? You think I should use the beacons? Well, you guys know I have a beacon. Uh-oh. Messed my camera up. No! Trying to get my beacon down. See, I've got a beacon, see? I got this from Giant. So if I hit my beacon button on my tractor, this thing comes on. Now you can't see it blinking because it's too bright, but it looks just like a beacon. It's flashing. So, or it does that beacon thing. And then when I hit the beacon on the tractor, it goes off again. So that's kind of cool. I just keep it setting up here on top of my monitor. That's how I hit my camera. So it's right above me here. And so if I turn it on, it just starts flashing. Woo, woo, woo. No, I don't have a siren though. I got one of those wide loan things. Beep, beep, beep. People call them wide load sirens or backup sirens. I call them big ass sirens because you got a big butt and you got to let people know when you're going to back it up. Say back that big butt up. Uh-oh, what'd I do? What'd I do? Don't do that. Don't. There you go. Okay, get back on the road. On the road again. Oh, when you're doing multiplayer? No, what is it? Multipass. I have a multipass. That's one of my favorite movies. I like that movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie. The Fifth Element. I've seen that movie so many times. I have played multiplayer, but I couldn't get anybody to play with me. I had 3 multiplayer servers, and nobody would ever play. I mean, we played for a little while. Scorpion, Craig was on, I think, for a while. Andy, did you come on to multiplayers? I can't remember. Lynn played with us on multiplayer. Arctic Lynn. But the problem is, I didn't have any time because I was always making videos. And so when I didn't get on the multiplayer, nobody got on it. They wouldn't, if I wasn't on it, they wouldn't come on and play. And so I had less and less time to play, and nobody was using the things, and I was paying so much a month for them. So finally, I just stopped paying for it. Plugger and Big Hoss. Yeah, Big Hoss was on for a while. Andy said he can't play it in the daytime. He only comes out at night. Andy plays mostly at night, mostly. I used to call his wife, say, "Can Andy come out and play?" No, he hasn't done his chores yet today. Yeah, it does. I was surprised when I got and decided that I was going to start farming. I thought it was fake grass, but it looks pretty good. I thought it was painted on grass. If you know what I mean. All right. Before I forget, I'm going to get a sprayer, not a sprayer. Spreader. Let's get a spreader. We're going to get this Amazon here. This spreader right there. No brand. I don't mind having an Amazon brand. Let's give it a brand. Body color, I don't know. It's kind of green and orange. It's ugly. It's kind of ugly. But I guess that's their colors, isn't it? But I could change it. Let's do some blue. Ooh, look at that blue. That's blue right there. Let me take a look. See, is there a lighter one? There is, but this one's kind of a chromish blue. That's kind of cool. But orange doesn't quite go with that. Well, maybe. I don't know. That's not too bad. I'll leave the orange. What's wrong with orange? It's kind of a pumpkin color. Let's buy that. And then gotta get a tractor to go with it. Let's do a large. I'm just gonna get a JCB for it. And then let's see. Let's do main color. Yeah, it's okay. We'll leave that. Give it a bigger engine, though. Give it some wide tires. Michelin's. Wide. GPS, yes. Design color's fine. I don't care. And it's already got a license plate on it. That's good. There you go. We're ready to do some liming. Yeah, it looks good. I like the grass. And I think in this case, this is what grass would look like in an area that was sunny all the time, because it would be dried out, right? Unless you water it all the time, it's not going to be that real bright green or dark green. It's going to be kind of a brownish green, wouldn't it? So I like it. I like green grass, and I cannot lie. Anybody know what's going to happen on Monday? You know, we were talking about the year 2000 earlier, and how everybody was all doom and gloom because 2000 we were all going to die. We were going to run out of food, power wouldn't work, and all that kind of stuff. And none of that happened. And now they're talking about this eclipse that's supposed to happen on Monday, and it's supposed to cover North America, one part of the United States, as it did in 2017 when it came through. It's coming a different angle this time. It's making a crisscross. The first time it came, like I said earlier in another live stream, in 2017 it came and it hit up in Oregon first and went all the way down to Florida. This time it's coming the other way, from the East Coast down, and it's going to go kind of south towards Texas, not towards California. And every time I go on the internet, they're talking about, well, they're beefing up the National Guard. FEMA says you need 3 days of fuel, gas, and food, water and food, and be prepared. What the hell do they think is going to happen? I don't understand. Unless I'm missing something. They're making it sound like it's end of time's going to hit on Monday. You know, like Jesus is coming back, and be prepared. And I don't know why they're doing that, unless they know something I don't know. And do you guys remember a while back when these guys started coming out talking about they were whistleblowers for the UFOs, for the government? They were whistleblowers saying that the government knows more than they're saying and this kind of stuff. And they kept saying at that time, people kept saying, well, why are you telling this now? Because most of us believed the government was lying anyway. Most people that believe that there are aliens believe that the government has known for some time and have been covering it up. And so people would say it, were saying that, well, why are you whistleblowing now? Why are you saying these things now? And they kept alluding to the fact that something was going to be happening in the near future that they wanted people prepared for. Does that mean we're going to get landed upon one of these days and they're going to scare the hell out of us? Little aliens are going to be popping up everywhere saying, "Look, we were here all along." I don't know. Yeah, it does. It only lasts for a few minutes. I can't remember, 8 minutes. I can't remember how many minutes, but it's not very long. 10 minutes at the most, something like that. I don't know. And people are out there. Are you going to watch it? Hell no, I'm not going to watch it. Well, for one thing, I live in Oregon where it's always cloudy, so don't know if I'd see it anyway. But if I want to see it, I'm sure somebody will film it. I don't want to look at something and go blind. I mean, there's ways of looking at it so you don't go blind. But what's the point? It's going to happen. It's going to be done, and big deal. Is it going to make me rich and famous? Is it going to change my life forever? Probably not. But then I don't know. Maybe it will if something happens like they say something's going to happen. Well, they're not saying anything's going to happen. They're just saying be prepared. Be prepared for what? It's a lot easier to prepare for something if you know what it is you're preparing for. I mean, they didn't run out and say buy a box of condoms, so I'm not thinking it's anything like that. Stock up on the beer. No. Gas and food and water. Right, Andy? Andy's got it made. He's already got the beer. He doesn't have to stock up. I can't believe it. This is my third live stream, and I still haven't finished even plowing 2 fields. This map is so big. It's just unbelievable. Okay, so what I bought were 2 squares. So I've got this that you can see to the tree line up there, and there's a road. There's a road over there. And then to this road, and then that field that I just did over there. That's all I bought. And if you look at the map, all I bought were these 2 fields right here. Look at how big this map is. What if you took about a quarter of this map and just made it into one huge field? Good Lord. You couldn't work it. It would grow faster than you could plant it. You'd start planting one end of the field, and by the time you came back on the first pass, it would have grown on the other end. I want to do that. I might do that. But I had a hard time deciding where to start because of the roads and the rivers and stuff. There is still roads and rivers you have to deal with, and a couple of big rocks. I don't think is there a rock on this field? No, I don't think there is. But that other field over there had a great big huge rock in it. You can see it from here. That big rock, it looks like a hill over there. A rock and a jelly roll. Make the whole map a field of map, the whole map of field. God, that would take forever. It might be interesting, but it would take forever. We used to, when I was a kid, 13 kids, so we didn't buy a lot of individual things. Like for birthdays and Christmas and things like that, we would buy board games that everybody could play. And that we would buy a lot of puzzles. We played a lot of puzzles. And the bigger puzzles, we'd get those great big huge ones, 3,000 pieces or something like that, and put them together. And then we would glue them together and put a frame around them or something, because it'd take you 2 years to put one together. You don't want to take it apart and have to start over again. Once you get it put together, glue it all together and put it on a piece of wood, put a frame on it, hang it on the wall. Things like those paint by number paintings, those were kind of fun though. It made you feel like you were an artist, even though you weren't doing anything. You were just following directions. But that was kind of fun. Each number had its own color. So color gray would be a 2. So you'd look at the picture and there'd be 2s everywhere. And every place there was a 2, you'd fill it in with gray. When you're all done, you'd look at it and say, what the hell did I just paint? Because it was just numbers and lines on the page. And then next thing you know, you got some dog with eyes this damn big. Remember those paintings they used to have where the little kids had great big eyes? They looked weird. Then there was the dogs playing poker. Everybody had dogs playing poker. Who knew that dogs were poker players? I didn't. And if they were, wouldn't you think it'd just be a certain breed? Like basset hounds. Basset hound are poker players. And they're good at cheating at cards too, because they got these great big floppy ears they could put cards in, nobody'd see them. And they'd just be pulling cards out of their ears. And my basset hound, when I had my basset hound, he was huge. His friggin' head was, God, monster. His paws were this big around, and his ears were 13 and a half inches long. And I had an old 50 Ford that had a bench seat in it and a kind of a flat dash. And he would sit on the seat beside me, and he could lean forward with his chin and put it on the dashboard of the car. And we'd ride around, and he'd go over to the window, and his ears would be flopping in the wind. But you took him for a walk, and with paws that big, he could dig in, man. And he'd go off, and you'd be being pulled behind him because he was strong. And the little kids in the neighborhood would always come over, and they'd knock on my door. I was single then. They'd knock on my door. Can we take Fred for a walk? And I said, yeah, he's out on his doghouse. I made this big doghouse for him. He's big, because he was a big dog. And he would sit on top of the doghouse. And he was, for a basset hound, he was huge. And it took him about 5 minutes to work up a bark. Because, a basset hound, a hound is a different type of a dog. And they don't really bark. He didn't really bark. It'd take him like 5 minutes to work up a woo, just a barf, a woof, It's just, and they would howl, like howl at the moon, hounds. But yeah, he was fun dog. The local kids just loved him. But they'd take him for a walk. I'd hand him the leash, and I'd say he's out on his doghouse. And then I'd watch out the window, and that dog would be yanking them. They would be on the ground being drugged by that dog because he was pretty powerful. In other words, they didn't walk him, he walked them. That was back in the days when the dog shit, you just left it as fertilizer. Now you got to go around behind them with plastic gloves and pick everything up. But in the old days, hell, I can't tell you on the farm how many times. You know what we used to do with our old oil that we took out of our rigs? You know, the equipment, the tractors and trucks and stuff. When we changed the oil on them, we took the oil and poured it out on the dirt roads so the dirt, you know, the roads weren't all dirty, or the gravel roads. We poured the oil on the roads. You can't do that anymore. Man, you're killing the earth. Why are you killing the earth by pouring oil on the ground? You're killing the earth. Where do they think the oil came from? Out of the ground. I'm just putting it back. And I'm thinking by the time it soaked through the ground, it would be filtered and clean again, so you could reuse it. No, I don't know. Oh, really? Steve says you can use terraforms. Really? I don't think I put any of it in. Well, you know what? I do. I do have it in. I just didn't check the boxes on it when I loaded it up. So I do have terraforms on here. I've got the big dump trucks and the big digging machines and that kind of poop law. Maybe I can dig that great big rock up over there with terraforms. You never know. You got a cat? You don't have to pick up from a cat? Does your cat bury that shit? Literally? See, I don't like cats, and I don't like dogs, and I hate most people. But if I had to have, the cats seem to me a little better to have because they catch mice. They do things. They work for their living, and they take care of themselves. You know, they can go out and earn their dinner, and they take care of themselves. They bury their poo. Some cats are not all that friendly. I had a cat on the farm. We had several cats. They were good mousers, but I had one cat that was there was a bobcat in the area, and somehow the bobcat got together with one of the domestic cats and had kittens. The domestic cat had kittens, and they were miniature little half bobcats, and they were half wild, and we had one of those. And funny thing is that the hind legs were a little bit longer than the front legs, and so it walked like a bear. And so we named it Bear, and it was a nasty little cat. Well, it wasn't little. It was a big cat. And it was a good farm cat. He worked for a living, and he was cantankerous. If you're sitting, like we would be working in the hot sun, and we'd take a break, sit under a tree, have something cold to drink, and just relax cool down for a minute. And every once in a while, that cat would come up on us in the field, and he would sit down in the shade, and he would rub up on your leg or something. Well, that meant that you could pet him. And so I would reach over when he did that, and I'd smooth his fur, or scratch his behind his ears, and he would let you do that. If he didn't come and sidle up to you first, and you tried to do that, he would take your hand off. So he was temperamental. He didn't like to be touched unless he wanted to be touched. So you had to be real careful with him. You couldn't go around and play goo-goo eyes with him. He didn't go for that. He'd scratch your eyes out. He was a mean little shit, but my kind of cat. He took care of himself. But yeah, we named him Bear. my little brother one time was heading into the hardware store. I didn't think too much of it because I didn't see him do it. I saw afterwards. So he's getting ready to go, and I looked out the window and I said, I thought Ray was going to the hardware store. And somebody said, yeah, he just got in his car. And I said, well, hell, he's supposed to have left 15 minutes ago. And I looked out the window, and all of a sudden, it was like the car was like rocking, and the door came open, and my little brother come flying out of the car. I mean, on the ground like he was flying. I don't mean he was running out of the car. He was flying out of it. And he hit the ground and was rolling, and I thought, what the hell? For some reason, he grabbed Bear, that Manx cat. He grabbed him and was going to take him to town with him. And I said, why in the hell would you do that? And everything was fine until he closed the door and the windows were up on the car. And the cat looks around the car and realizes it's inside and can't get out. And it decided it wanted out now. It was clawing the holy shit out of him before he got the door open. I said, why would you do that? You know he doesn't like to be touched unless he wants to be. What made you think he'd want to be tied up in the car? We had another cat. It would get cold in the wintertime. And so we would go out before we'd go anywhere. We would go out and start the car up and let it warm up before you went anywhere in the wintertime. As a matter of fact, at some points in the winter, we had glow plugs, or what did they call those? They were block heaters. We would have block heaters. So on the side of your engine, on your engine block, there's little ports that you can unscrew. Kind of, you'd take these ports out and you would screw one of these heater bars in. It was a block heater. And you'd screw that in and add an electric cord on it. And then at night, you'd just plug that in, and that would heat your oil up in your pan in the block of your car or truck, so that it would, not freeze and, if it got really cold. Well, beyond that, it was that kind of cold. And somebody had come home from work, and the truck was hot, and they went to bed. And I got up the next morning, was going to start it up and leave. And I just jumped in it, started it up, and I heard a bang, 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 meow, meow, meow. And I thought, what the hell was that? And I turned the truck off, and I got up and opened the hood, and the cat had got up on the engine to stay warm, and it got caught in the fan. Not the fan, but the fan belt when I started the thing up. And so when I opened up the hood, it come flying out at me, so it wasn't dead. It didn't kill it. And I heard it right away, so I immediately turned the car off. I thought something was wrong with the engine. So I got out, and the car shot past my head. And I thought, oh my God, what the hell just happened? And then I saw cat fur all over the top of the engine. And so I went looking for the cat, and I couldn't find it. And I went in the house, and I said, well, we lost one of the cats. And Mom said, what happened? And I told her. And she goes, oh, God, I'm glad the girls are at school already. Because they'd be upset. And I said, I don't know where it went. And she said, well, go look for it, see if you can find it and get it buried before the girls get home. And I went out, and I couldn't find it. And I came back in and told her, I don't know where it went. And so later that afternoon, I came around the barn, and there was the cat. And it wasn't, how when you walk, you're walking straight, right? You're just walking. This cat was walking, but it was walking sideways like this at an angle. And it was, its legs were it got hurt. And it healed up, I don't know if it broke a leg or whatever, but it was hurt. And from that point on, it always walked and ran even at an angle, instead of straight. It would kind of crab walking, kind of. And I changed its name. I don't remember what its name was. I wasn't big on naming animals. But the girls had a name for it. I started calling him Sidewinder because he'd run at an angle. So he became Sidewinder. And he turned out he was okay. I mean, you know, he lived as long as the other cats did. I felt bad, but at least it didn't kill him. It's just funny, Sidewinder. Have no idea what he does with it. He brought me a mouse last night. Yeah, they bring him to you. Our cats used to do that all the time. We would feed them. We would feed them once in a while. So what I would do is when a cat would come in, we kept on the front porch, we kept a little, like a pie plate. Matter of fact, it was an old pie plate. It was an aluminum pie plate. And when the cats would come, they would put a bird or a mouse or a mole or whatever they caught. They would bring it and put it in that pan. And I would take it out, dispose of it, and put cat food in the pie plate. So they were trading food. They would bring their food in. They would bring their kill in, and they would trade it for cat food, which I thought was pretty funny. So they're bringing you, Andy, when they bring their kill like that, they're showing you that they're worth their keep. They're paying room and board. They want you to eat that. Now you have to eat that for dinner now, or they'll get upset. And you don't want to make your cats upset, because if you pass out in the living room, they'll eat you. Cats are evil. When you sleep at night, they'll come and suck your breath away. Cats are evil. They're like little vampires. He wants to share his dinner with you, Andy. You had to give him a beer. Man, these fields are so big. It takes forever to work them. I still got to pick up all this grass now. Your cat sleeps with you? I thought you were married. You're going to wake up one of these nights and that cat's going to be sitting on your face. He doesn't. Oh, you've already tried to give him beer? He doesn't like it? Picky cat, huh? Them cats, they have their own taste. Hell, it's a Scottish cat. He should be drinking whiskey. Whiskey. I didn't tell you guys. I had a nap just before I started the live stream. I had everything set up at around noon, and I had something real quick to eat at noon, and so that gave me an hour before the live stream. It took me about, I don't know, 15 minutes to have my lunch. So it was 12:15, and I'm sitting here. I got 45 minutes before the live stream, and I'm sitting here, and I'm kind of dozing off. So I thought, you know what? I looked at the clock, and I said, I got 45 minutes. That gives me about time for a half-hour nap. So I laid down for a half hour and fell asleep. That makes Carol so mad. She gets so mad at me, because when I go to bed, I could be laying there reading a book, watching TV, talking, whatever. But when it's time to go to sleep, I would look at her and I'll say, okay, I'm going to sleep now. And I would roll over and immediately fall asleep. And she gets so mad when I do that, because it takes her hours to fall asleep. And, but so I looked at the clock. I got 45 minutes. That's a half-hour nap. So I laid down, fell asleep. I set my alarm on my, well, I told, what's her name over there, Alexa, to set me a half-hour timer. And I got up, had 15 minutes to get ready for the live stream. Oh, I don't know what the hell she's doing. Alexa, do I have a notification?
One notification. Amazon shopping. The shipment has arrived.
Oh, I got a package. It's not for me though. My daughter wanted me to buy. For some reason she's into backpacks lately. She's got a whole bunch of backpacks, and she goes out mushroom hunting, and she likes hunting. My dad was what they called a rock hound. My dad was. He was always going out and digging up rocks and thunder eggs and making jewelry of Ellensburg blue and agates that he would find. He had a rock polisher and a rock saw, and he would learn how to facet things and make jewelry and stuff. My dad was really into that. Well, my daughter, for some reason, is into rocks now too, and so she's got a whole bunch of different backpacks. Well, she found a backpack that it's a backpack that's kind of sits on your hip, and it gets tied around your thigh. It's like a thigh pack, and she had to have one of those. Kind of looks like a holster. I don't know what she's going to do with it, but she had to have one of those. Wanted to know if I'd get it for her, and then, okay, fine. She's in between jobs right now, so she didn't have any money, so I thought, okay, fine. You got a birthday coming up. She has a birthday in July, so I thought, okay, fine. Anyway, I ordered her one. It's here today, so. This is the daughter that's Addie's mom. She's my youngest daughter. I got two girls. She's my youngest daughter. And my oldest daughter, they even from the time she was a teenager, she said she never wanted kids. And they never have. Her and her husband, they've never had children. What is she, 43 this year, I think? As a matter of fact, her birthday's about a week from now. 10 days from now. 9 days. Yeah, 9 days. And she'll be 43. But, yeah, she didn't want any children. That's fine. I'm glad, because she couldn't have handled them. My oldest daughter is high maintenance. She's too high-strung for children. She'd never survive having a child. It would she'd be pulling her hair out, and she'd be in a nut house trying to raise a kid. So it's a good thing she never had any. So if it wasn't for my youngest daughter, I wouldn't have any grandkids at all. So I've got two, a boy and a girl. Likes to sniff everything, be a Scottish cat. How can he be a Scottish cat? I left there 25 years ago. Well, maybe he's a reincarnated cat. Besides, who would know? Put a kilt on him, give him a whiskey and a golf club. Everybody'd think he was a Scottish cat. Does he meow with a brogue? A Scottish brogue? He doesn't like sheep, does he? Oh, wait. That's Welsh. Never mind. Is he a year old already? Wow, it seems like you just got that cat. Man, time flies. We haven't had a cat for years. I got a pet cemetery out in the backyard. Callie was the mama cat. She's got a headstone out there. And Blackie, our old cockapoo, he's out there. He didn't get, she got, Callie, her headstone is a cat. Is a like a porcelain cat headstone. And Blackie just has a headstone with writing on it, some little prayer, something like that. Getting ready to add Chewy. He's not doing too good. We went on vacation. He's going on 17, and his lifespan was only 15 years, supposedly, for that breed. And we went on vacation. When we came home, he's having trouble walking. He can't walk. He's just having real... He'll try to get up on all fours, and his legs will just give out on him. And so we have to kind of carry him outside, go to the bathroom. I think he might have arthritis because Carol started giving him some kind of a supplement. What's that stuff that women take that gives them iron and stuff? Trying to think what it is. It's for joints. It's a joint thing that they take. It's a powder that they mix in water or something like that. It's supposed to be good for your joints. Chondroitin. I can't remember, but Carol takes a little bit of that sometimes, and so she gave some of that to the dog, and it really helped him. He was able to get up the other day and actually kind of at least walk outside and go down in the backyard and do his business. But pretty soon I'm gonna have to make room for another pet out in the plot. Fertilizer for the roses. We did that for one animal. I can't remember which one it was. We buried them out, and I, instead of putting I guess what I'd call a tombstone, we planted a rose on his grave. So, and then it was another cat, if I remember right. All right, I'm almost done. Boots. Was that your cat's name, Boots? We had a cat named Boots. This was years ago, though, when the kids were really little. The one litter of cats they named after the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elrod, and I can't remember what the other one was named. Jeff liked the Blues Brothers. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, they did a movie called The Blues Brothers. Jake and Elrod. I can't remember the third one's name, though. Am I going to plow it? Yeah, but probably not this stream. I'm almost out of time today. So, man, I haven't picked up the grass yet. I got to pick the grass up first. So that'll be a job for the next live stream, I guess. Get this thing plowed up and get that, what you call it over there, that other field limed up. And then decide what I'm going to do for a crop. I'm thinking just wheat for the first crop. That'll give me plenty of straw. Wheat, rye, or barley, or maybe a combination of those. Or oats. That'll give me straw too as well. All right, mowing job done. Not quite. I still got a few more minutes. Matthew wants me gone now. Yeah, it's getting close, Matthew. I'd live stream longer, but I'm too old. I did get a nap though, so I don't have to worry about that. So I did a different house this time than I had in that last one. Hey, it's got a barbecue, and I can move it. A different house. This one looked a little bit more rustic. For The problem is that at night it's dark. There's no lights. There is a light switch right there, and it turns on a couple of lights up here, but they don't put out enough light, and so the rest of the house is just friggin' dark. And I can't see any other. I don't see any other light switches. So this one, the other house lit up at night really well. This one doesn't. So. But that's okay. I only come in here to sleep, and I want it dark anyway. Right? We'll get him. Have to move Plowboy here. I just plowed over myself. Hey, I've already got grass in here. What do I have in here? 12, 15,000, 1,000. I got a what? I've got 1 million units of 1.25 million of grass in here already. Wow. Okay. It wants me to unfold it first. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of grass. And Tim was asking me if I was going to make it into silage. I might. If I can get... You know what I need to do is I need to get one of those silage makers and remod it. I've never done that, and I need to do it. What I want it to do... The problem with the silage makers was, one, they didn't hold very much grass. Two... It took forever to make the silage. So if I do that, I might want to remod the silo to make silage faster, so that I can throw some grass in it and get some silage out of it in a couple days instead of a couple months. Sleep at the door. Just like home. All righty, everybody. Time for me to go. My time's up for the day. Another day, another week. I hope, and I don't know. I didn't think much of it, but now I'm starting to get worried. There's so much crap on the internet about something going to happen on Monday. We'll see. I hope nothing does. I hope everything's fine. I hope you guys are good. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time I see you. I might come in and work on this map. If I do over the weekend, I'll go ahead and maybe live stream. So we'll see. I'm not promising anything, but if I don't see you then, I'll see you next Tuesday, hopefully, if the world doesn't come to an end. If a world comes to an end, I hope we meet up sometime. Not that way. I'll meet you up there, and we'll have a good old time, do some farming up there. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.